Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Fong. Thinking right out here in the lab. Where I do what I do for you. I spend too much time out here because I got some good stuff for you. I'm just out here just pulling up information that I think you can use. That's my job. That's what I do for you. Let's get started. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. You got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinking mission. Yeah, that's what I'm on. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. So I'm giving you all the information and the ammunition you need to do just that. You, as a right thinker, your goal should be to get it, use it, and know thyself. That's the mission here. That's the goal for you. Let's put it together and make it happen. Let's go. So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know, it's okay. They're spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I'm in another book today because I've seen a lesson. I want to get this in. I don't want to cover up this book, but the top of the book is the God and Goddesses of Shita Nether of ancient Egyptian religion. It's called a religion because we practiced it, we lived it, made it part of our lifestyle. And my motto for right thing philosophy is not a religion, it's a way of life. Simple. So this is chapter 2 of this book. And the title, The Main Spiritual Traditions, Schools of Religious Philosophies, and of Netherreism related to the principles, aka God and Goddess. I'm trying to break it down for you again, try to get you to understand how many gods and goddesses they had. Too many didn't name, but we have the aspects and concepts of your personality. So the more you know, the more you master, the better you would be. And the goal is to master yourself. That's what the name of the game is. When you go into the Shaolin Temple and become a monk, you get to practice any one of part of your lifestyle or your character, personality in that area that you want to master. Okay, so master thyself means you want to know all of them. That's why I give them to you. They're gonna break down. I'm gonna break it down for you. So let's go. So how many gods? It's called stipulations. Now it's important to understand what that it is not possible to list all the gods and goddesses of the Netherrean spirituality, ancient Egyptian religion. This is because they are too numerous. Simple as that. We had a God for everything. And if you do neurology or study the brain, you have multiple personalities, and they was covering each and every aspect of that. Did you know that? So they did way back then. Moving on. Carl Jung, he's the oversight. No, everything he's saying coincides with what we taught. So I'm not mad or understand. He just modernized it. I'm doing the same thing. Bring it up to you where you can understand it. Gotcha. Let's go. So here you go. Now the reason for the large, again, numbers of the African religions or nature is seen why as embodying some essential principle that what derived from the transcendental divinity, the one or the absolute, or the whatever you call it. Do we got to understand? We start with that. Here's the picture of the nether group. You see at the top, right there, not a person, okay? It's an emblem, it's a sign to recognize, tell you the concept of God. He has no name, face, or that So we give him that concept and break it down. Everything else, all the gods come after and out of him. Moving on. That's the concept. So there's one. Okay. Where we at? So therefore, all is what? A manifestation of what? The divinity in the same form or another. In some form or another, excuse me. We all have different forms. However, there you go. However, what can be done is to list and describe the main divinities with the chakras. We concern ourselves with 7. It's 114, 112 in the body and 2 outside. I know, understand that, but we only focus on the 7. Why? Those are the ones that count. So I'm going to take you through a few of the guys, the ones that count. How about that? So we're dealing with divinities. The main divinities in the nether, aka God and goddesses, meaning the male aspect and the female aspect. Not always man and woman. Understand that. You got passive, then you got receptive. Man is always aggressive, women is always receptive. And you supportive, what? Nether, and what? Show how the divinities encompass the entire breadth of divinities and aggregate, meaning a bunch of groups coming together. God said I was 1, I became 3, and then I multiplied. And he didn't add or take away nothing from himself. That's God. Having a basic understanding, and most people do because they got a belief system, but understanding about what each of the principles that I profess, Egyptian concepts, right thing philosophy, the principal divinities represents, provide what? Insight. Learning that divinity, that aspect about yourself, gives you insight into what? Nature, the nature of who? Self, and your divine essence, that which is behind all things. We keep emphasizing that. They keep using every knowledge they could to show you that you are one with God. Simple. The spark of life that gives us life, that's God. He put that in us. The consciousness that we have up here, that's ours. That's man. He gave that to us as a gift so we can recognize him. Trying to make it real simple. Moving on. I don't deal in belief systems. I get the concept, but I don't deal with it. Why? I got the spiritual system. Knowing, gnosis. This, of course, is what? This is just the first step to understanding what? The code. That book that you got, that Bible, it's coded. That's why I said, I know it's some truth in it. Why? They coded it with the truth. You just got to figure it out. Another lesson I ain't got to deal with right now, but that's the concept, which is what? Embedded in what? The myth. That book is a book of myth, allegorical stories, fictitious characters to teach, to enlighten. I understand that about the book more than y'all people who follow it. Sorry about that, a little annoyed. But this, of course, is basically just the first step. But once you understand the myth, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Get the understanding, and you can emulate it by what? Manifesting it for yourself. The meaning of the myth, the storytelling, to get you to learn and understand and to live means practice it, implement it, use it. Sorry. That code is the key to what? Unlocking, you ready? The she taught mysteries of life, aka knowledge of self, to know who you and God are, and y'all are one and the same. In the mysticism of life, that's the goal for religion, to get you back to God. If you do it right, you and God will become one. I'm just teaching from our ancient ancestor concept. That's all. They mean well, I understand that, but I'm giving you the real deal. They got the watered down version. I'd rather have mine uncut. Give my funk, the P funk. I want it pure. Yeah, give it to me straight. Let me deal with it. I'm gonna tell you the truth. What you deal with after that, that's on you. I'm not cutting it. Moving on. And the means to attain, ready? Spiritual awakening. Wake up spiritually. Become conscious of who you are. We come here without a conscience. That's why he put it up here, and it got to grow. It got to improve. We don't come in already knowing. Some of us go out not knowing. I mean, they didn't learn. So we got a lesson for that. Reincarnation. Moving on. Which is what? Spiritual awakening is the highest goal of all spiritual endeavors in any religion. That's the purpose of religion. That's why I respect it. Now, how y'all practice it, how y'all misinterpret it, that's not my issue. But I understand it. So Trust me. Moving on. Now we get to the good stuff. We got the classes of God and goddesses. A quick schematic there. And it shows you one side it says demons, other side it says gods and goddesses. So on one side is good, other side is evil. Remember, my girl, you can't have nothing without two things. God, the only singular thing. Everything comes from him. That's like top of the pyramid. Uno. So let's talk about the class of God and goddesses right quick and show you how, with principles, like anything else, it don't say good or bad. You had to tend to use it for good or evil. The same knowledge they have for good, you use that same knowledge for bad. We got guys who do that. Remember, Star Wars, they told you, Darth Vader. Okay, Jedi. I'm about to tell you who the Jedi is right now. How about this? Firstly, you must understand, it must be understood that there are two categories of sentient beings, human beings, with spiritual makeups. We know that. Watch this. First, there are the deities in human beings, aspects of our character. Secondly, according to who? Maya philosophy, all sentient beings fall in two categories. Again, that's all you got. There ain't no third choice. This is it. Male, female, good, bad, up, down, in, out. To get the concept, that's duality. That's two things coming together. So watch this. You got two things, categories. And those who follow Maya, right thinkers, that's us. And those who follow religion, unmaya, unrighteousness. Why? Because they're ignorant. And that's those, my religious family. I love y'all, but that's y'all. And the deities may be divided, what? Into two classes, again, the Netheru, or God and goddesses, and the Sabah, S-B-A-U, Sabah, or demons. Both the Netheru and the Sabah emanate from who? One person, God. He said, I created good and evil. So you can't have one without the other. Once he created Maya, that lets you know everything has an opposite to it. Moving on. So even evil comes from the Supreme Being. They constitute what? Duality. I love this. Of creation. You got to have two things. Opposite. Sometimes they equal. They're always equal, but sometimes they're going to compare. Sometimes they're going to be opposite. What? Haru and Set. They opposites. Set and Aset. Opposites. They're not going to go together. Water and oil. Never going to mix. Simple. Just as there are human beings, there are human beings who what? Follow right thinking philosophy, aka Maya, and then you have others who follow Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and they call them Anmayat, A-N-M-A-A-T. That means so too, there are the same divinities that follow Mayat, that follow true, You can follow Mayat, you can follow religion. The Sabah, S-A-B-A-U, Sabah, leads to what? Worldliness. What is base and is dull and painful, frustrating, and is bondage to what? To the world of time and space. You become a player in the game called life, you're stuck in a hamster wheel, so to speak. Gotta keep up. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. That's the ignorant bond that you're under. That's what religion puts you through. I'm about to show you there's two differences right here. Okay, I showed you that earlier. Now we're gonna go over it right quick. On the right side is the demon. Let's go to the demon side first. The demon, I showed you. See the acronym right there? What did you see right there? A man with a hatchet to his head. Is that it? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Yeah, right there. You see that guy right there? That's the support of negative. That's your ego. How about that? That's your ego. You see what he doing? Don't care. The second one, you see another one, Sabah, S-B-A-U, that's devils associate with the Sabah of evil. We got a guy, Aleister Crowley. He took all the Masonic knowledge, all the secret esoteric meaning, and just flipped it. Usually I wear my hat. Okay? He just took what was good, flipped it, made it bad. That's too easy. But guess what comes with that? Consequence of your actions. You still got to be responsible. Moving on. That's the concept. You can't get away from karma. That's why he put that in. There's no getting around your actions. Be they good, you earn your blessings. Be they bad, you earn what you deserve. That's karma. Moving on. Now the last one, Sabaut, S-B-A-U-T. That's evil things, demonic things. A person who's just bad. An egoistic person who's sneaky, deceitful, larcenous, all those bad things they're doing under auspices of being a good person. They call them antichrists. Okay, we call them liars and bullshitters. We call them what they are. Okay, but that's having knowledge that you're using it for your own purpose, selfishly. That's not what it's for. That's not intent. And some people will go that way, but they're responsible for that. So you notice right here, the term of demons for demons, phonetically synonymous to pretty much the same thing with the term for teacher. You're being taught how to be evil. They teach that. This is a Commission pun. Why? Relating to what? Two opposites. One enlightens and the other darkens. If you like being ignorant, you're going to continuously do in the dark. If you want to be enlightened, you can come over and practice my philosophy, know thyself, and better yourself. Come into the light. They call God's glorious light. And I get the concept. I understand that. The nether are teachers, understand that, and leaders to what? Righteous. The priests and the priestess are their intermediaries. We understand I'm a messenger from God. That's it. I know that. I'm not a preacher. I'm a teacher. That's my purpose, to bring in the message from a teacher's perspective. That's it. But my thing is, my hook, I live what I teach. Moving on. And you got the intermediaries to the world. You got your 85% of sheep, meaning ignorant people. That's what they call y'all. You got 10% who know the secrets, who know this stuff, and they do it for the wrong purpose. We know about them. They get theirs. Don't worry. Well, he looking good now. Don't worry. Don't worry. They get theirs. That's what judgment day is for. That's what karma job is. Don't worry. They ain't getting away. So understand that. True believers will let karma do her job. Get out of God's way. He's going to take care of them. People who mistreat you, people who do you wrong, let God take care of them if you're a true believer. That's what I'm saying. So that's the demonistic part. Let's look at the righteous, the good side. God and goddess, the nether. God or goddess, I mean male or female aspects. They are teachers. Seba, S-B-A, or Seba, S-E-B-A. It means what? Teach, to enlighten. Positive, good, righteous, virtuous. That's what I do for you. Seba, S-B-A-A, or S-E-B-A-A. It means teachers, teach, bring up, educate, train, instruct. All those are qualities that signify a teacher. An authentic teacher does these things. Not talk about, I'm this, I'm that. No, you do things that signify the title that you're given. Sorry about that. Sabor, S-B-A-U, or other side, same thing, S-E-B-A-U, are teachers, instructors. You can either teach good, you can teach bad. I taught bad. He taught bad, so sorry. Again, just keeping it real. Okay. All right. Last one. Sabah, S-B-A-I, is a spiritual preceptor, aka sage. Simple. I don't call myself that. I live to be called that because that's a title for people who do what it is they claim they do. The Netherru, God and Goddess, or Netherrean religion may be grouped as follows. Right quick, I got some more information for you coming up. Ooh. And there are two main categories. First, there are the transcendental. I'm going to take you through the deities. This is going to take a minute, so get ready. The transcendental, meaning the supreme being. When you hear transcendental, that's the one. That's the top. There is a temporal, the gods and goddesses who what? Emanate from that supreme being, and they do the work of what? Creation and sustaining life. See where we going with this? Okay. In the realm of time and space, where we are physical now, the word Jeta, D-J-E-T-A, what's this? There are three divisions. There are gods and goddesses of the earth, the physical realm, that's Ta. Then you got God and goddesses of the Duat, That's the upper netherworld in the realm of God and goddesses, or what they call the pet or heaven. That's the lower astral level. So from the physical, you go to the astral. That's the lower heavenly state. You pass the judgment, you rise on up to where the duat, that's the highest level. Then you go to casual. I'm gonna break that down for you right here. This is the breakdown of it right here. Okay. They had this all laid out. You see that like this? This is the noon. You see that? That's the beginning. That's nothing. That's the abyss, whatever you want to call it. But we called it the noon. So we use water as the concept. Why? Because boats was created by us. That's to get around. So that's what we knew, how to get around. The 75% of this earth is water. So starting with that. And let's talk about how the noon is the primordial waters. Substratum divinity. That's the realm of what? Matter without form. Indifferentiation matter. All possibility. Everything gonna come out of the noon. That means it's full of possibilities until what? It take form, take shape. That's the concept. Let's go with that. And in that form, the representation is Kepri of Naburcha. Kepri is the scarab-headed man, representing sunrise, beginning of light, coming out. Okay, and the Naburcha represents what? The all-encompassing God. He had all the aspects in him. Now he's going to exercise them by divvying them out to different people. Watch this. Now that's called Hue. Heh. That's transcendent before time and space. You got the Benben stone. You see the Masons. They use the compass to signify to make a 360-degree circle. God signified the first sign of God was the dot. That's him. And he circumscribed the world around himself. So he's always in what? Due bounds with his creation. Hope you're understanding this. It's making sense to me. And we call him Amun, the hidden one. That's who God is. He represents the dot. And that's the higher netherworld, which is called the casual plane. That's the creative divinities. These are the ones that create nature, help sustain nature to keep it going. That's the Amun level. That's the realm of what? Time and space. There we go. We're coming down. Next is the lower netherworld. That's where what? Let there be Ra. That's realm of matter and form. Okay. Now it's dropping down, more physical. We went from nothing to possibility to something happening, Amun, creativity, and now we get into what is being displayed. Ra, let there be light. And that's the lower astral body, but that's the concept of being seen. Amen went from being invisible, hidden, to being what? Seen. The third level, which is that with physical form, tough. The story goes in the Memphite theology, he uttered himself into existence. We know a whole bunch of different creation stories, but the Memphite one, the one that put Ptah in the craftsmanship, he created everything for them. Same concept, three different places, all saying the same thing differently. Okay, I gave that lesson too. But the earthly, which is terrestrial, the lower netherworld, the lower astral plane is called extraterrestrial. From us, that's the next level up. We're in the terrestrial level, which is the physical realm right here and now. So that's the earthly plane. That's where Ptah represents what? Physical. The human beings, us. The spirit in us is Haru. So I'm gonna give you a bunch of breakdown on the transcendental divinities, aka God and goddesses, but that's gonna be the next lesson because right now I'm gonna call this to an end. Hope I'm getting my point across. If you're following along, this is higher advanced knowledge for those who follow the concepts of what I'm producing. So stay tuned for more. I'll be back. But in closing, right thinkers, may you live to be 100 and be 100 minus a day. So I never know my right thinkers have passed away. I'll be back with more information for you about the gods and goddesses.